What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of our MLB Outlooks for the 2025 MLB season. Today we have the Texas Rangers, and in my honest opinion, I think the Rangers had one of the best off seasons in all of baseball. I think they have improved their team greatly. I like their lineup. I like their rotation. I like their bullpen, which they really overloaded this offseason. This Rangers team won the World Series 2 years ago. Last year, they had the World Series hangover, didn't even make the playoffs. They built the team this year to make the playoffs and try to make a run, and I think they did that great. Let's take a look at their free agency tracker. They brought back Nathan Eovaldi. This was a big move. 3 years, 75 to bring him back. Andrew Heaney does leave for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Kirby Yates goes to the Dodgers. David Robertson, surprisingly, is still out there. Who knows, maybe they'll be in on him later. Carson Kelly leaves. Jose Leclerc leaves. Max Scherzer leaves to the Toronto Blue Jays. Andrew Chafin leaves. Matt Duffy's still out there. Jose Urena and Travis Jankowski both leave. Let's take a look at the lineup, because honestly, I like it a lot. So taking a look at the projected lineup for the Texas Rangers, it goes a bit like this. Marcus Semien at second base, Corey Seager at shortstop, Wyatt Langford, a very solid candidate to have a breakout year in the league. He's playing left field. Jock Peterson, one of their probably major additions this offseason, playing DH. He'll be batting fourth. Adolis Garcia, Josh Young, Evan Carter, Jake Burger, who they also traded for during the winter meetings, and Jonah Heim. Man, I like it. It's a well-rounded Texas Rangers lineup. Jock Peterson, you add pop right in front of Adolis Garcia, who can be hit or miss for people. He is projected a 2.1 WAR, just like Jock Peterson. So you add the value of Adolis Garcia and basically times it by 2. It's basically the same player. They both have pop. 827 projected OPS for Jock Peterson, 748 for Adolis Garcia. Then you have Josh Young in there, 728, 2.4 for him. Jake Burger, they bring in. He has some pop in his bat to play first base. A 1.7 projected WAR, 766 OPS projection, WRC plus of 114. The only WRC plus projection they do not like is Jonah Heim at 91, 676 OPS. But here's the thing. Catchers usually aren't known to be the power guys. They are the guys just commanding the rotation, helping out the pitchers. I don't think Jonah Heim's going to be this bad, though. I don't like him in the 676 range. I could see him pushing towards 700. He might be over it. But besides that, there's nothing really to complain about with this Rangers lineup. They did everything, and I mean everything that they could have done to improve this team and try to get back to the playoffs. This was a Rangers team that had the crazy World Series hangover. Them and the Diamondbacks didn't make the playoffs, but the Texas Rangers, I think at the top of my head, had a losing record. This was a Rangers team that fell flat last year, coming off of a World Series championship, first in franchise history, and they were not good last year. They went into this offseason saying, you know what, how are we going to change this? Let's make some under-the-radar moves and have a really good offseason. Jock Peterson, Jake Burger, underrated moves no one was really expecting. Even Jake Burger, no one was expecting him to be traded to the Texas Rangers. Very early in the offseason, by the way. Wyatt Langford, you have a young guy there. You have a young guy in Evan Carter, who had a really solid playoffs. You have a young guy in Josh Young. You have a young guy in Jake Burger. He's only on year 2, by the way. These are some young guys that you're going to throw in there, even though Jake Burger is 28 years old, but I mean service time-wise. This is a very solid lineup. Jock Peterson is now a veteran on this team. Him and Marcus Semien. You could also throw Corey Seager, but the longest tenured guys are Jock Peterson and Marcus Semien. Those are solid leaders. I know Jock Peterson has been around the league for a while, but I would love to have Jock Peterson as a leader, and they still have him having a great year. Wyatt Langford, I like the projections for him over at 800 OPS, 3.9 projected WAR for his year 2. Corey Seager as well, nothing to complain about there. Marcus Semien, of course, as well. Then they brought in some guys on the bench. Kevin Pillar gets signed in free agency, and then they also signed Kyle Higashioka to be the backup. They have Josh Smith and Leody Taveras as well. I like what they did there with Higashioka. I really like that. I think that was an underrated backup catcher move. Let's look at the rotation and bullpen. So looking at the rotation, it goes a bit like this. Nathan Eovaldi, who they re-signed, Tyler Mahle, Jack Leiter, Kumar Rocker, and Jacob deGrom. How crazy is it that the Rangers basically landed both the big Vandy guys, Jack Leiter and Kumar Rocker? Of course, Jack Leiter hasn't really panned out just yet in the MLB. He's projected a .6 WAR, a 4.78 ERA, and a 3.99 walks per 9. I really don't like that. I mean, his strikeouts are in the 9 range. He is projected the 3-star, but Kumar Rocker, I do like Kumar Rocker a bit more than Jack Leiter, honestly. Kumar Rocker got drafted by the Mets. He went back to college, and then he basically upped his stock a little bit, and the Rangers basically land the 2 top pitchers of Jack Leiter's draft, you could argue. These two were so hyped at Vanderbilt. It was so fun to watch, and they have them both locked up. The Rangers have done a great job at progressing Kumar Rocker through the minor leagues. He gets to the big leagues really quick. 1.8 projected WAR in his first full year of service coming up. 3.84 projected ERA. That is awesome for a Kumar Rocker rookie year. Jacob deGrom is the 5 starter right now. Honestly, he'll be up farther in this, I think. It's just probably the injury concerns holding him back. A 4 projected WAR, a 2.99 ERA. If that's your 5 starter numbers, that needs to be the ace of the rotation. Sorry, Nathan Eovaldi, even though he's 3.99, that's still very decent. Jacob deGrom, I don't like him in the 5 hole. He needs to be up here. Other than that, here's where they did everything, though. And I'm going to make this as quick as possible. They added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 free agents for this bullpen. It was a retool of the bullpen. Chris Martin from Boston. Robert Garcia they traded for from the Nationals. And this was the guy they got for Lau, who they traded to the Nationals. Luke Jackson they acquired from the Braves in a free agency. Jacob Webb from the Orioles goes to the Rangers. Hobie Milner from the Brewers goes to the Rangers. And Sharm Armstrong of the Cubs goes to the Rangers. 3 of these guys projected .2 WAR, .1 for Luke Jackson. If you're a reliever and you're putting up, I know we've kind of dissed this in a while, but the Rangers have done a great job of trying to accumulate this type of WAR from these types of numbers. They're not getting randoms. Hobie Milner, Jacob Webb, Luke Jackson, Sharm Armstrong are at least names some people have heard of and have a big league track record. They are also veterans. They are all in their 30s. They've been in the league for a while. And with 2 young guys in the rotation in Jack Leiter and Kumar Rocker, they're going to be hanging around this pitching staff. And these are the type of relievers you want to bring in. These guys to teach them the ropes. You have Chris Martin, who's been in the league for 7 years. Robert Garcia, who they traded for, is young as well. He's only 28 and he's turning 29 soon, but only 1 year of service time. Mark Church, they have as a 0 WAR. It's looking like he's going to have his main rookie year this year. And Dane Dunning, I like that as well. I think it's a solid bullpen. It's going to be headlined by Martin and Garcia. But overall, I think this Rangers team will be making a push for October. That's going to be one of my hot takes for the year. But thank you all for watching this video. It means a lot. Thank you all, as always, for helping me get to 300 subscribers. That also means a lot. Help us get to 400 now. Let's start a new goal. Make sure to like the video and comment down below your thoughts about the Rangers. We're almost done with this series. 2 more teams to go. I'll see you next time.